All right, tells us we're live, and we're live on Facebook. Now, look, now see
Woo!
that looks like it's working live on Facebook.
Hey,
And
Facebook world.
yeah, well, this is gonna go everywhere, so don't
Oh, Lord.
segregate the YouTubers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hi, community. How about that?
yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. We're all stuck. It's all Monday. It's like we said before, day 834 of the
Something like that.
coronavirus quarantine. I just saw last night that we're I guess the I still have trouble saying that Trump has pushed the quarantine back to April 30th.
Oh, yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
just leave it there.
Yeah.
I don't want this to become a political show. But here's the thing, right? Out of all of, and this is not to make light of anything other than this is sort of a Monday morning fun show. All the Marvel movies have now been pushed back.
Oh, jeez. That's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. I forgot.
Oh, man. Oh, it's terrible.
But have you noticed that Fandango and all these other places, they're trying to charge you like 20, 25 bucks just to watch a regular movie now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
know AMC started doing like a streaming deal.
Yep.
And yeah, Amazon Prime does it too now. I saw that the other day. Where like you can buy, I think it's like $19.99 and you can watch the movie. It's like renting the theater release for 48 hours or something like that. Which, I mean, okay, that's cool. But my thing has always been, well, so there's an upside and a downside to that, because there are movies that you wouldn't necessarily want to go to the theater to go see, but you do want to see them, and they're the ones like, wait till it comes out on Netflix or Redbox.
Sure.
But then there's movies that you like have to see in the theater.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If the first time you ever saw Endgame was on your 50-inch or 40-inch laptop, oh man, did you miss out?
That is true. Oh my God. Any of those Marvel movies, really. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You want stadium seating, you want popcorn,
right.
You want to be there, opening weekend with a gaggle of other maniac nerds like yourself.
My thing, I was always a Flower Town person. So the movie tavern, all that good stuff. Yeah. Come feed me. Come take my order. Yes.
You're a very, very fancy man. Very fancy. I'm gonna have my steak with my Avengers Infinity War. Doing my part to keep Thanos in business. So yeah, this is the first time we've had two veterans as a host for the Chi Cast, right? So I think we should have one of those deep, heartfelt questions answered right here and now for the Tai Chi Fit and greater community. What are your fan theories for Marvel Phase 4?
Black Widow.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't wait. Yeah. I'm quite sure you've seen the trailers and everything.
I love the score music for that trailer. That gets me hyped, and I don't know why. I'm way too excited about that movie. Because like ScarJo's fine and all, but she's never actually like carried a movie.
No, she hasn't. That's true.
I don't know. Black Widow has always been sort of a B character, even in comic books. It's not like Wonder Woman or even Captain Marvel, who like shoulder the universe.
Yeah.
On their backs. Like it's Black Widow. Like, It looks funny though. It's got what's his name from Stranger Things in it.
Oh yeah. Right, red, whatever, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Captain Soviet or
Yeah. Oh man. And then she brought her sister in. She's like, I need support.
All right, bringing the family back together. Family picture. The spies are flying everywhere. We're blowing up. Yeah.
So I have a question for you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
They're really getting started off like nice and plotting. Like this is actually going back in time. We're going like before Endgame.
Right. Yeah,
So,
her whole makeup and everything.
what do you think? Do you think Marvel can keep it going? Phase 4.
I think if they bring me on as a writer, you can keep it going. That's just my take. You hear that, Marvel? Bring me on.
That's it. That's it. Well, while you're at it, bring me on.
There you go. We can do it. Right. Wait, you're right. That's right. I forgot about that.
That's right. You could always use a little urban fantasy in your life. Yeah. We'll bring you. We'll bring me. We'll get Jonathan Mayberry, and we'll be good to go. We'll be good to go. Yeah, I wonder if they can keep it going, because we're I don't know if, like, back when, do you still collect comic books? Actually, let me ask that question.
Every now and then.
So like for a saga, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
You jump. So when this is such a nerd conversation. We're losing all of our viewers now.
That's okay. Might get some more, truthfully. Yeah. A lot of my friends are like, hey, good stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, right. I totally lost my train of thought. So when DC did its rebirth a couple of years ago, I started reading Batman again, and I got all the way through the first like 50 issues, and I was in it. I think it was some of the best writing that I've seen with Batman. It had these great arcs. You saw this huge character development, and it was all sort of centered around the relationship between Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle, or Batman to those that don't know. And it was supposed to end in them getting married, right? And like halfway through, while they're trying to figure out why Rebirth is doing its thing, spoiler alerts for anyone who comics and hasn't gotten there yet, Batman and the Flash actually go into this sort of alternate universe where Batman meets up with his father, Thomas Wayne.
Yes.
Crazy, like Flashpoint Thomas Wayne.
Yes. Yeah.
And Thomas Wayne says to him, Bruce, you don't have to do this for us. Go back and be happy. Right. Which was like crazy. And like Batman all of a sudden like proposes to Catwoman, and they start like touring the world and all the other kind of crazy stuff. Only for it all to build up to her leaving him at the altar.
Ooh.
Because the world needed Batman more, and she saw it as, if she were to marry him, that would be it. Right. He would stop being Batman.
Wow.
Oh man, it was crushing. I was like, oh. And then the next issue comes in, and I couldn't get up for it. You know what I mean? Because I had invested so much emotion in everything. And this is what I'm worried about with Marvel Phase 4.
Right.
Is Endgame was such a spectacular event.
It was.
I was thinking about that movie for like weeks after I saw it. And I saw it 3 times in the theaters, like Dolby Digital, Primo seats. Right. And like I just felt like, all right, we're done. And now I feel like, I gotta get up and do it all over again. Like, do I have it in me? Not that I drive the market or anything, but I like to think that I'm at least a thermometer for that kind of thing. So what are your other predictions for Phase 4 here?
I'll be quite honest. I really haven't given it much thought. I haven't. Not lately.
What? Not lately. You've been busy? Is there something else going on in the world?
Yes, trying to draw my comic book out. Yes.
There it is.
Yeah.
So tell us about your comic book.
Oh, man. All right. I guess I should have had a shirt on saying that, but yeah.
Yeah. Should always be shilling. Shilling.
Next time. So I started a comic book because I wanted to initially just help kids learn about health and wellness. Because being a big advocate of health and wellness for years, I was like, okay, cool. Let me just get that going. As it turned out, adults started liking it. I was like, okay, but they still felt it. Excuse me. They still felt it was. I don't have corona.
That wasn't a dry cough.
No, it was kind of a little moist. But anyway, yeah.
Stick to your Tai
We're
Chi.
gonna get
kids.
kicked off.
That's
yeah.
It's just gonna be an entire hour of us laughing.
But yeah, I just eventually adults started liking it, teachers started liking it. They thought it was a good tool to use. There's only one issue out right now. That's why I've been trying to bust my butt and get the next ones done. So
who's your publisher?
Actually, it's the first issue is on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is that the PDK?
Yeah,
program, right?
yeah. There you go. That's for right now. Actually, that was Sam's idea to go ahead and put it on Amazon. He said, just do it for 99 cents just to get the word out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Debbie Mack, who's she actually hit the New York Times bestsellers list. She's a self-published author, and that's exactly what she did. She just sold her books for 99 cents to get it out there, and just dealt with quantity on quantity on quantity.
Okay.
As you know, like the nature of the publishing industry has completely changed. I think this is important even for our instructors to know, right? Because
sure,
the way that information gets out now is completely different than it used to be. It used to be like you had to get a publishing company, you had to get a distribution company and all that kind of jazz in order to have any kind of modicum of success in the publishing world, whether it be video or written or page or periodicals like what you're doing. And now, like, if you're an influencer, that's all you need. You self-publish, you got 10 million people willing to go out and buy your book or see your, like all those really bad YouTube movies 10 years ago.
Right.
Oh, was that hard or what? Right. But just because, they've got 8 million fans.
Right.
Profit, so like how you judge success really just comes down to how many people are absorbing what it is you're putting out there now. It has nothing to do whether or not you get picked up by Sony or Columbia House or Marvel.
Yeah. I remember a friend of mine, he connected me with a guy that was with Marvel, and I talked to him for a while. And he basically said, look, just do what you're doing. Keep drawing, putting it out there. And he's like, put up social media and everything. He's like, if it's that hot, we'll come pick you up just because it's out there. He said, whether it's Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, Image, whatever. So, yeah. I mean, of course, now I have more time to do it, but initially it was just crazy. Yeah.
Sure. Have you noticed that though? Like now that we're all quarantined and sort of locked down, you're ended up working more than you were before.
Yes, definitely. Like I see the messages. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put my family out there, but the morning messages saying, "Oh God, we're bored." Like, no, I'm like, no, I need more time. Yeah. So, no, I don't understand how people don't have anything to do, because I still think I need a secretary.
Sure. Oh my God. Yeah.
Sheesh.
That's why I'm waiting for, not waiting, but really excited about what's going on with the Tai Chi for Veterans program,
right?
Because it looks like we may be hitting that moment of operation.
Awesome.
And once that happens, it's like, all right, now let's hire somebody. Do all this stuff that I don't want to do. Yeah.
Oh man, I can only imagine. Jeez.
Yeah. It's but I think that's for everybody. Like if you're out like yourself, you're an entrepreneur, you're an artist, you're an online personality, you're trying to do all these things, and the like putting cereal in your bowl stuff that you have to do gets in the way of all those other projects that you're doing, right? And all those projects very, very clearly have lots of potential and lots of profitability behind them, as well as they're a healthy and helpful endeavor to the target audience that you're looking for.
Sure.
But
sure.
because you got to put cereal in the bowl, yeah,
Right.
can't always like work on it the way it should be worked on. And what I kind of love about this, I think like the silver lining in this whole quarantine thing is people are like getting back in touch with themselves.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
Some people are finding out that they're not who they thought they were. But you're like, yeah, I'm gonna work on my comic book. I'm gonna get my Tai Chi in. I'm gonna do my thing. Yeah, come out stronger than ever on the other side.
Now you know what? A buddy of mine that I've known since 9th grade. He's a dancing fool. Like seriously, if we're in a club or whatever on a men's trip or whatever, he's just out there on the dance floor. So he actually was doing a virtual dancing over the weekend with a friend. I was like, dude, I didn't even think about that. Like I did a virtual date. Shout out to you.
Strange new world.
Probably throwing something at me, but yeah. But I think that's awesome that people are realizing that forget thinking outside the box, that there is no box, and to use the resources that we have to keep in touch with each other. So I thought that was a great idea for
him. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I think you touched on this. Although I do want to hear more about this online date. How does that work exactly?
Well, quite honestly, she's quarantined in a whole different section of the city, and we have our favorite show, Supernatural. We have our favorite show. Well, at least one. And we decided, okay, you know what? Make a Zoom chat or video better. Hey, put you on there. Even though I'm going to talk about her. She did not think about the fact that she had a laptop and could actually put it on her lap. She had it on a table. Yes, I'm calling you out. Yeah. I was like, yeah, it's a laptop. You don't have to have it on the table. But yeah, so we actually watched Supernatural together, comment, all that good stuff, popcorn if necessary. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hey, look, to keep her happy, works for me. So yeah. Yeah.
No, that's good stuff. That's it. So this wasn't like a first date.
Oh, no. This is actually, I don't like titles, but whatever, my woman. How about that?
I get it. This is an established wooing.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, yeah.
Try to get you out of trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna get cursed out, so it's fine. Oh, man.
An established courtship. There we go.
There you go. Yes.
Established courtship.
Yeah.
With potential for more in the future. Potential of growth.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
High growth potential. Yeah. I like that. It's better than high pig potential. My partner tells me I have all the time. You're such a nice person on those Tai Chi shows. Yeah. Yes, I am. Although you'll love this. DDR asked me to be the bulldog for Tai Chi Fit, right? Because let's talk bad about Southern California for a moment. You guys have beautiful weather.
Yes.
You have beautiful people. You have almost like paradise in a sense, with the occasional shakeup. And this victory has made you soft. And over here on the East Coast, where it's dreary and it's dark, it's cold, and we're all living on top of each other. We've got the population of California between Philadelphia and New York City.
And not in a pleasant way either.
No.
Oh, man.
Where our best beach is Atlantic City.
Yeah.
At Seaside Heights, where they filmed the Jersey Shore.
Oh, good God.
Oh, yeah. It's hard out here. the East Coast. And so it's easy to be rude and like I'm not being rude or mean. I'm being authentic.
Right, it's East Coast. Jeez.
East Coast. I-95 corridor. Not trying to have
it. This is where the Sopranos and everything was filmed. East Coast. So what do you expect?
That's right. That's right. That's how I demarcate the times for our meetings, right? Because right now it's what 7:30 out there, right? So I know DDR is up. He's probably doing his thing and getting ready to come into work and all that kind of thing.
Floating on the cloud. Yeah.
But I know the rest of the crew is just rolling over in bed. I know it. I know it. And here we are. We got studios set up. We're doing our first live podcast. We got people chiming in. Do we have people chiming in? Not much. Not yet. We'll see. You know, and well, there's some delay here. There is some delay in the live stream. But yeah, so this is market time.
Right.
And there's slacker time. Because one has nothing to do with the other.
No. Man. Yeah, I think I'll take a sip too. Yeah.
But it's a nice I was thinking about this over the weekend. Like being on the West Coast is actually kind of nice because if you want to do late night stuff, that counts.
Sure.
You could do your late night stuff at 4:00 in the afternoon out there, where it's 7:00 out here.
Right.
So, we're winding down for the day. We're getting our like gym class in, our little exercise thing on, or getting our entertainment in.
Right.
And that's not bad because you're putting in your own work day. So when you're done, you go home to entertain the people that are already home.
Sure.
Well, I'm trying to throw them a bone here.
Yeah, I loved it out there when I was out there last summer. So yeah, almost didn't make it back. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it that much. Seriously.
You seem like a California guy.
Here we go. All right.
Yeah. Nah. Pretty.
Yeah. Really?
Soft.
Hey. Hey, Marine Corps. Shoot. Yeah.
Marine Corps. There it is.
So
now we get to the crux of everything.
I have a question for you, which I never asked before. Do you have a favorite form of Tai Chi? The 24, the flow, the 108?
Oh, wow.
Aha.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I love the 24 modification with the bow staff.
Oh, ooh, you took it there.
Yeah, man. I absolutely adore it. I worship that, right? So if we're talking open hand, we're talking Tai Chi Chuan. Yes. I love the Chen 27. That's probably my favorite.
Okay.
Because I think it wraps everything together real nicely. It embodies the spirit of the Chen style.
Right.
But it's not like the Yang 24 is very straightforward, straight back. Then we do some crisscrossing, whereas Chen is all over the place. You're like flying around, you're spinning all over the kicking. And the hardest part of like learning it is to learn where your steps are supposed to go in order for you to end back where you started. Right. And I feel like when you can apply sort of the smoothness and that letting go from the Yang style into the Chen 27, you experience something that is almost orgasmic as you're moving. Like you really get a sense of where the chi's flowing, where the spiraling is happening. And it stops being about you. It starts being about just following that flow of everything.
Right.
And then Tai Chi Gun with the bow staff, man. I love the feel of the bow staff, and I love how cool it looks.
Right.
And again, you can really feel where everything's moving when you've got your bow staff going on, because it's so extended from your body that and a lot of the movements start to make sense, like the empty fist starts to make sense.
Right.
The way we crush, crank the elbows and all, because as you do that with the bow staff, all of a sudden your elbow becomes the base, the back wall for it, and your empty fist becomes is holding on to the bow staff, so you can feel when you go into like single whip, this is already a thing, and that's there to prop up the bow staff, right?
Oh man, I'm ready to play now.
Looks so cool because it all comes out of nowhere, like every single. And the bow staff's huge, like I have a 6-footer, but you can get them up to like 9 feet, and and yet all the strikes and everything come out of nowhere, which is just fantastic. And yeah, sorry, I fanboyed out there for a second.
No, that's great.
Open hand Chen 27, and then the 24 for the bow staff.
Okay.
Yeah, that modification, which is pretty cool.
Now I'll have to email Sifu and find out which. I can't remember the name of the form that we were using for the bow staff, because we learned 2 in the Saturday class. One which was really long, took like maybe 10-20 minutes.
Yeah.
The other was nice and short and to the point, maybe 5-10 minutes. But yeah, I'm because you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I think I'm gonna start practicing that now as well.
Oh yeah. And what got me when I started working with the bow staff, because like you, I have a hard style background, and mostly Japanese and Korean, where the bow staff is pretty much from the middle, and it's all about manipulating your center of gravity. Whereas when you move to the Chinese side of things, it's all about waiting on one end and sliding it around from yin to yang. I mean, literally switching your hands. And drawing it in and extending it back out, and drawing it around and toss. Oh, it's just phenomenal to watch. And you get these huge theatrical swings from the bow staff. Whereas your feet aren't really doing much. You're taking steps. They're like half steps through the whole thing. And then trying to then extend, how your entire body is supposed to get to the end all at the same time.
Right.
Well, to try and do that with this 6-foot extension of yourself just adds this extra layer of complexity, and it's so much fun. Yeah,
I'm definitely.
I was thinking about working that into the iron fusion, the program, and I am all for that. Bring on the weapons.
Uh-oh.
Oh
no, it's okay. So people were saying they're trying to find it and can't find it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
On YouTube or on Facebook?
On Facebook.
It should be Tai Chi with Veterans, or at Tai Chi with Veterans.
Okay.
That's where you want to be.
Okay, gotcha.
That's where you want to be. That's where the magic is happening right now. Which is good. Lots of magic. Like Doctor Strange magic. Woo.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
I just remembered something. You were not a fan of the Joker. Yes.
I'm not.
Yes, I'm putting you out there. Yes.
Yeah, you go ahead, put me out there. I'm the contra critic. I do not bow to the whims of the masses. I call it for what it is.
Well, see, I'm glad, because you're a comic book dude too. So
yeah.
I'm not going to say it was like the most uplifting movie. Of course, it wasn't. It's the Joker, but
sure,
it just gave, in my opinion, and many others, it just gave you more insight as to his mental capacity. And well, maybe I'm biased because being a therapist during the day, but so I kind of enjoyed it. I'm not saying, this was the best movie in the world. Not necessarily, but I just thought he did a great job with it. And they did a great job with the story, even though they tried to touch on Killing Joke in a way. Yeah. But yeah. So that's me.
So I get that. Like, for what Joaquin Phoenix was given in this movie. I think he did a great job. Right? He's a creepy weirdo, and he apparently plays one on television or in the movies. But you got to give him props. Like, he lost all that weight.
Oh man.
He learned how to laugh in that crazy crying manner.
Right.
He was definitely convincing as what is it? Arthur Fleck, right?
Right.
So, yes, his performance, I have no question. That was really good.
Yes.
And I think the sets were really good too. It did kind of capture that 1980s, late 70s, or early 80s, late 70s sort of vibe.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, yes, it is a good movie from those two vantage points.
Right.
But when we go a little bit deeper into the movie, you're not rooting for Arthur Fleck.
Oh no,
right?
No,
you're not.
No.
But we're with him the whole time. So you have to spend time with this person you don't like. Right. And not in like oh, I can't really stand you sort of way. Maybe you'll have your redemption, like say like a Tony Stark, right?
Right.
This is more like, this guy is the guy you warn people about.
Right.
And they're like, see something, say something. That's the guy they're talking about. Right. So number one, not a likable character.
Right.
Okay. But we have to like go with him. The people in his world are so messed up, like comically messed up. Like the woman on the bus, like, don't talk to my kid. Are you kidding me? I would, parents love when like people will take over while they're still under their supervision. Like, oh, I don't have to like entertain my child right now. This kind stranger is willing to make faces and make them laugh on the safety of the bus. Like, sure. I don't have a problem with that at all. And the fact that like something went viral. In this movie. It's set in the 1980s and something goes viral. Like that's not how that works. When we were in that comedy club, I did not see a Buick on somebody's shoulder. Right. Because camcorders were huge back then.
That is true.
And we got different angles and all this. And like there was just so much that it was trying to do. It was trying to have if it wasn't a period piece, that would have actually I would have liked it a little bit more if it was set in the present day.
Gotcha.
Right? So it was trying to do a lot of things that it couldn't quite do. And it was kind of heavy-handed in the message that it was trying to get across. Like, first and foremost, you always have to tell a good story. Right. Now, that would make it an average movie just based on that. Now, if we turn this into a Joker movie and Bruce Wayne is in it and his parents die, so there is a Batman eventually in this universe. Right. Arthur Fleck, that person, I get that like movements can start out of an idea, but that guy does not become the clown prince of crime. He doesn't. Right? Like Bruce Wayne's like 12 in this movie. At an oldest. So you're telling me in 20 years, the world's greatest detective is going to show up and go toe to toe with Arthur Fleck? That guy's going to go out faster than a henchman. Right? Like Batman's one of the top 10 superhero fighters of all time.
Right. He's a ninja. Shoot.
Oh my God.
Right.
So that's not even like a thing, right? He is no mastermind. This guy isn't even a mastermind. He's just like, it's happenstance. Stuff happens to him. He doesn't really drive anything. Like, okay, the thing that happened on the subway, yes, it happened to him. He happened to have a gun, and he kills the three Wall Street guys.
Oh yeah.
But that's not him. That was happenstance. And then this whole thing, this powder keg finally blows. So he's not the mastermind behind it. He's not driving the plot versus say, and I know this is unfair, but Heath Ledger's Joker in The Dark Knight, who drove the whole damn story to the point of he beat Batman. Like he won.
That's true.
and if Christopher Nolan would have had his realist glasses on that day, one of those boats would have exploded. Right. One of those boats would have gone down.
I'm sorry, I got too excited. Yes, I agree with you. I totally agree. Oh,
right.
Yes.
And the scariest thing about Ledger, we had no idea where he came from. You could kind of figure out things that he said, and there's all these theories on who he was prior to showing up in Gotham. But the scariest thing about him is we don't know who he is.
Yep.
He's like a force of nature. He just drops out, and that's the Joker. In when we were talking about the rebirth in Batman and the lead up to the wedding between Bruce and Selina, there's like this three-part series where the Joker takes over this wedding, right? As you can imagine, Joker being Joker, a lot of blood, a lot of death, a lot of mayhem. Batman shows up to try and save the day. There's this whole like Catwoman has to get him out of the situation because Joker pretty much gets the best of Batman in this situation. And he did the whole thing to ask Batman if he was going to make the Joker his best man. That was the whole point of this thing. The whole point. This is like on the same level of like Batman the Animated Series, where the Joker breaks out of Gotham.
Oh my God!
Kidnaps the commissioner and Latoya and Harvey Bullock. Also, he can hit Batman in the face with a pie. That was the whole point of the entire episode. He hits him with a pie, and he gives up. And he goes back to Arkham. Like that's the Crown Prince of Crime, and that is not Arthur Fleck. So, as a Joker movie, it's garbage. It's absolute garbage because it doesn't embody who the Joker is.
I'll say this on the flip. Okay, I'll wait until you're done.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, no, I hear you, and I totally agree with that aspect. Now, a couple of things I've heard that they were trying to do to rectify the whole situation is, as you know, the Joker didn't fall into anything yet or whatever, the chemicals that made him. So they're trying to say, once he falls into the chemicals, it slows down the aging process and brings him back a little bit more. So now he'll be almost at the same level as Batman. That's one thing I've heard. So yeah, I know. It's yeah, I know. I didn't make it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
You're hoping to pull Tom Brady out of that 6th round reach. But here's the thing about that. And once again, going to the penultimate example of the Joker and Heath Ledger, the makeup is still on his fingers in the scenes, and it's just this dirty, grody makeup. That's it. So there's no bad chemicals, there's no Axis upcomings. He's just him, and that makes him friggin' scary.
True, right? Very true. Right, very true.
Whereas Arthur Fleck isn't scary. You would not be afraid of that guy with his dancing.
Right? I'm a weirdo, dancing in a dirty bathroom. Okay, yeah, you're out. Oh well.
Yeah, that's right. Don't bring it here.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. But if you're listening, like chime in. But yeah.
Yeah, that's right. This is the showdown you all showed up to see. Is the Joker a good movie?
Yeah. Oh man.
But I do agree. I think the settings were good. I think it really does capture that early 80s aesthetic. And I think what's his name? Joaquin Phoenix did a great job. I really do. Yeah. So he deserves the kudos that he got. Just don't necessarily like the movie all that much. It's whatever. It's better than Aquaman.
Oh,
it's not the worst comic book movie. It really isn't. And I'm sure. No. So my partner and I, we have a hobby, and where we talk about these comic book movies all the time, and we have a ranking list, an actual spreadsheet of all these different factors that we factor in, right? So it's things like the hero, the villain, the supporting cast, the story and the plot, the score, the cinematography, the action, the acting, the script. Like we go into all that stuff, and then based on who wins what, they'll have their win-loss records, right?
Okay.
And so to give you an idea, like The Dark Knight, which I've just like gushed over, is fourth on the all-time list. So as good as that movie, granted, like Heath Ledger is probably the best villain we're ever gonna get. I don't care what you Thanos fanboys say.
Please.
Right? No. I don't care what you say. And by far, like leagues ahead of anybody else. So, you know, when you've locked down one category, you could move through the ranks fairly well. But those movies are shot gorgeously. Like the cinematography is great, the acting is great, other than the Batman voice with the throat kisser and all that. Oh, so bad.
So now I'm curious to find out, what do you have as top one?
Oh,
top one rather.
Yeah. So I can go down. So going backwards, did Endgame beat Civil War? I think it did. It did in head to head. It didn't on the all-time list. But we've got at number 5, it's either Civil War or Endgame.
Okay.
I forget where it came down on the list. In number 4 is Dark Knight. You're gonna love number 3.
Oh geez.
Deadpool.
The
first one.
Yeah. Okay.
The first one. Yeah, the second one was whatever. The second one's like 50th or something. But yeah, crazy enough, Deadpool came in 3rd. Like, and granted, my partner, she loves it, but it was hard to argue against it because like it has drama where the drama's supposed to be, and
right.
It's a great hero villain dynamic and all that kind of good stuff. The second, we got to go back in time. The Crow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Back from the early 90s, man.
Right. Huh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brandon. But yeah, okay.
There it is. It is. And our number 1 overall is V for Vendetta.
Okay.
See?
Okay. Okay. 1, and I should have figured. I'm impressed that you know the movie. 2, I'm glad it has a high ranking because I actually love that movie. When I saw that for the first time, I was like, wow. And truthfully, when this whole pandemic started, I was telling everyone, watch V for Vendetta. Just watch V for Vendetta. Right. Yep. Just watch it. And yeah, I'm gonna have to go over my list. I'm not gonna say anything. Maybe next time I will. But yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
We try. And like once you get in the top 15, you're getting into like really good movies. So it's hard to like break in after like Sin City. I think it's
good God, yes.
It comes after Endgame and Civil War. Like Winter Soldier's in there.
Yeah.
Kingsman, the first one, that's in the top 10, or at least it was until Endgame showed up. But like Black Panther and the Avengers didn't even make the top 10, which is crazy.
I'm not even gonna talk about that. But yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't want to start anything, but yeah. I totally agree. Nope. Because I've gotten to that debate with others. So,
What with Black Panther?
Yes, they're like, oh, such a great. Okay, yeah.
So it was good.
Yes,
it was good.
Yes, it
was. And I'm glad it wasn't bad because I was going to be upset if it was bad.
Right.
But it's not great.
No,
like,
it's not.
You're right.
By far.
It's not great. It's just shy of great.
I'm surprised I don't hear people hollering already. Like, what?
Oh, they are. They've already lost their minds.
Yeah. Like, how can you
Black Panther's the greatest movie ever.
No, it's not. No,
it's really not. That final fight, that CG Jello fight that we had at the end, that sunk the movie. Although I think Killmonger is the second best villain on our list.
No, I can agree. Yes.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. He was absolutely phenomenal. When you're sitting there, don't you always feel dirty when you're like watching a movie and you start nodding your head whenever the villain shows up? Hey, this guy's on to something.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I agree with him. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, not only is he fun to watch, I think he's right. Is he right? Yeah, I think so. So I should kill the babysitter? Yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for the coin. Yeah.
That's what you get out of the Joker, right?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think it was funny. I don't know if you've seen that meme going around Facebook, at least for a little bit, when like the grand run on toilet paper started. And it was that line from The Dark Knight where is like these people and their rules.
Oh,
they're a sick joke. Cast at the first sign of trouble. When the chips are down.
Right.
These so-called civilized people, they'll eat each other. I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
Oh man.
I'm thinking about resurrecting that costume this year for Halloween.
I actually may have to throw that on in the background while I'm going over some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That's such a fantastic movie.
It is. Like from beginning
the score,
to end. Yeah.
Got goosebumps. We should just do this and watch like comic book movies together. I'm sure that would be absolutely entertaining.
Exactly.
Great.
Oh man.
This is Tai Chi with Veterans.
How about that? Oh yeah.
This is the first time you have two veterans on the Tai Chi Veterans podcast, and we're sitting here talking about comic book movies the whole time. Because I know that's exactly what you all were hoping for.
Tai Chi Zero. It's not a comic book movie, but did you ever see it?
I did see it. That's with Tai Chi Man. That has Keanu Reeves. I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah. Tai Chi Zero,
which was comical, but yeah. Okay, sure, okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Tai Chi if it were Dragon Ball Z.
You're right. What did you think about Man of Tai Chi?
It's a Keanu Reeves movie, so you kind of know what to expect when it gets there. I think like the choreography and the fight scenes were great.
Oh man, yeah,
they were absolutely great. The star, and I don't know his name, but he was a lot of fun to watch.
He was actually in the second Matrix.
Oh, really?
The stairway scene when Keanu is fighting all the guys. He gets pinned.
Oh, the dude with the glasses.
Exactly.
And he had like the halberd. Yeah.
Right.
Really? That was him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You just can't tell when wearing glasses. That's pretty cool. Yeah, when they're like,
right.
The Matrix. I saw The Matrix. They re-released it in theaters over the summer. I think it was like in August or something like that.
Oh,
I didn't even ask the family. I just booked it. It's like, guess what we're doing tomorrow? Going to go see The Matrix on Dolby Digital.
Oh.
I think that's one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
The doggone Matrix. The smart man's action flick. Which is fantastic. We got 2 viewers. You guys are free to step in and say hi. Get these numbers up here. Share, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff that the internet tells you to do. As we move through and get it on. Yeah. Oh man, I think that's the thing I miss the most right now is just going to the movie theaters.
I can agree.
And just sitting down with a bowl of popcorn, trapped in the seat of you just don't think about it, and you just go from there. Just that's about it.
Yeah, that is one of the things I miss, and also just practicing with everyone. Seriously. I miss that. Yeah,
the live class and the camaraderie you have with your students and with your fellow players. Like Shane and I on Wednesday mornings, we sneak out to the river. There's Glen Ford where it's pretty secluded. Like it's a part of the Fairmount Park, lattice, if you will, but very few people ever go back there when there isn't a pandemic going on, let alone when there is.
Right.
And so we'll go out there and we'll train, but it misses the energy of, and it's good training. Don't get me wrong. We come away with a different kind of energy, but it misses that vibe of the live class.
Everyone. Yeah.
Where you're like, they're feeding off of you, you're feeding off of them, and anything's possible. And you just kind of get into the groove and you're all in the groove together. And yeah. The sad part is when this is all said and done, there's going to be like a turn, because like everybody's shooting for online now.
Yeah.
And like we were saying in the beginning, our head of state
45.
Our head of state has expanded the quarantine out to April 30th.
Right.
So that's a lot. That's a whole month plus, most of March. All of these operations are going to be online at that point. And they may be more lucrative online than doing the in-person. And there begins to be that question of what now? What does the world look like when we come from underneath this quarantine?
That's true.
Well, because I don't know about you, like I miss my classes. I absolutely do.
Me too.
But not having to like scuttle from one side of the city to the next and all that kind of thing. One, I've saved an insane amount of money in like gas and food.
Right.
But then at the same time, like my online classes are just as big as my in-person classes. It's just with different people.
Right.
So it's like, that's and I like working from home, not gonna lie.
I know it. Yeah. I totally agree with you on that. I think everyone's going to go bananas. A whole bunch of different airplane tickets, train tickets, and hey, call me an introvert, call me what you want, but I actually enjoy this right now. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's more calming. I don't have to deal with the hassle of, like you said, traveling from here to there. My car still has a half a tank of gas since last week, and I think it's been that way for a while.
Yeah.
And it will be that way for a while.
Yep.
So
it's been 3 weeks since I put gas in the car.
I think me too. Yeah. Come to think of it,
because where you were like driving, you're not driving anywhere.
No.
Whereas like I'll do that in like 5 days.
Right. So that aspect, no, I don't miss the whole running around like crazy. So this is pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
But this after it's over, this world's gonna go crazy. They're gonna run everywhere.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be one big coming out party. I was thinking that too. I'm like, man, you think the lines to the diners were bad prior to the quarantine? They're going to be like wrapped around the blocks. Like everybody's going to want to sit down
right.
I think that's like why it's really important that we do this correctly, right? Like I'd rather go on longer so that the curve starts to come down than shorten it, because like you said, everyone's just going to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of people in a lot of places. And if this thing is still active, that's bad juju at that point.
And I'm quite sure you heard about the story in Jersey where the governor had to, slap this one group of people. I think it was like 47 people. They had a party. And he was like, no, we're not doing that. No.
Yeah. Well, Kentucky had that too.
Oh, geez.
And somebody came down with COVID-19 because of it. It's like, wow, how many other people at that party are now carriers?
Right. Exactly.
Like, Like but and I hate to be cruel, and this isn't like, this is not me necessarily being cruel, but this is me being very observant, right? And I think we're seeing evolution in real time, right? Like, we saw the virus that mutated from an animal to us,
right.
but the amount of stupidity that's out there, like, people are getting taken down because of their own ignorance, in a sense. And that really is evolution at play. Now, evolution doesn't give two iotas of who survives or whatever, but at the same time, I'm speaking of evolution like it's a Marvel character. It really is like the kid that swallows too many marbles doesn't go on to have kids of his own. Like, that's evolution in a nutshell. And so if you're holding these COVID parties and not taking the precautions that you should be taking, this is evolution at work. Thankfully it's not assaulting children.
Not as much.
That would be not yet is really the key, right? Because that would be awful. I mean, it's really bad that it's affecting sort of the elderly population. There's a lot of younger people that are being affected by it now. We don't know what the grand scope of it's going to be just yet, because it hasn't even begun to run its course, I don't think, because we don't know how many people are affected. So not well, this conversation took a turn.
All right, let me gather some chi. Okay, all right,
that's right, let's stick that in.
Yeah. Let's not say it like Shane, but yeah.
Need some of that Chen 27 now.
I actually think it was like 2 weeks ago. And this is how people not taking it serious. Parked my car, was walking down the street, and it wasn't directed at me. It was just a kid being stupid, for much better word. Just started coughing out loud.
Oh my God.
In the middle of the street, and he's smiling. And me, of course, I wasn't in the marine mode, really. I was just walking. And it didn't hit me until later. I was like, is it really?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I can't. You see people as they are. This whole we're starting to see people as they are. So
that's where it really comes down to.
Yep.
It's like the people that are doing that and that are refusing, like, cover up, they're the people that get bit in the zombie movies and don't tell anybody.
That's true. That is true.
Right. So take notes, internet. Watch very closely the behavior of your neighbors now, because when the zombie apocalypse actually does come, you know who not to trust.
And that's a good thing. At least it's not like World War Z,
Yeah.
Right.
That's one of those scary zombie apocalypse right there. We're talking all this trash. I'm over here like touching my face.
But you're inside though, so
That's right. Yeah. That's right. I'm like,
so we can,
Biden. Start cleaning out all my. I just get a Q-tip out here and just start doing the work. Break all the rules. Don't stick Q-tips in anywhere. Don't put them. No.
Yeah.
Oh, rooter it out. Yeah. I would say this is a great podcast to listen on your way into work, but nobody's going to work. So this is a good podcast when you're tired of binging Tiger Guy on Netflix. I haven't even watched it yet, and I feel like I know this guy. I feel like he lives with me.
I didn't watch it. Yeah. I'm good to go.
Keeps popping up. He's all like, with his little hat and got the tiger. Good on you, man. Just no. Nah. I need to find something to watch though. I've like binged everything that I've wanted to binge. And I have my daughter's birthday present, which is the entire collection of Batman Beyond.
Oh, nice.
But it's her birthday present and it's unopened.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I haven't. You can't watch this podcast, honey. And I'm itching to like just toss it in and watch, Terry McGinnis go at it.
For, yeah.
3 days straight. Yes. I was so desperate. I looked up when the next DC animated movie was coming out. It's not coming out till like May. Of course, I bought it back in October, but whatever.
Actually, that's a good point. I'm not sure if I've seen them all.
Oh, listen. We just saw Red Sun. Just came out, I think, last week.
Okay.
And man, was that good.
Okay.
That was like really, really good and like emotional at the same time. Like, great storytelling, great parody between the sides.
Okay.
You're not quite like Superman's still Superman, even though he's Soviet Superman.
I did see the ad for that. Yeah. Or trailer.
It puts you at odds, man. You're like, ugh. I don't like how this feels. Because it's very much it's very much like V for Vendetta, where like V is without equivocation a terrorist.
Okay, right.
Everything that he is doing is an act of terrorism. But because he's doing it in the name of liberty and democracy and autonomy, we sympathize with him.
Mm-hmm.
Almost to the point of condoning his actions.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
Pretty much, yeah. You're like, yes. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah.
So we shouldn't try to blow up buildings.
No, of course not. No.
Really?
No.
You really shouldn't do that. No. So let me reiterate, I am not condoning blowing up buildings.
We're going to get phone calls later. Really?
Did you hear what those two said? Calm down, Karen.
Oh, man.
This is why you can't let two veterans in on one of these podcasts, because then it goes off the rails.
Hey, I didn't bring my M16A2 and show it. So, we're good. We're good.
2-3 attachment.
Right.
Boop. Boop.
I used to love that thing.
Oh, man. Boop. Yeah. We'll spare you guys that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think it's important in many ways, because a lot of the world is left out of the interactions between vets, and to see how that camaraderie and that shared culture that we all have kind of comes into play.
Right.
It was like we did I think we served at the same time, but we did not serve together.
Right.
We met in our next lives, and yet you would have thought we grew up together at this point.
That's true. That is true.
So there's something to that. Like, I know you've had that situation where you're like out and you run into this other vet and you guys just start talking.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's looking at you like you're speaking a foreign language. Yeah.
Right.
Because when we were putting the vet corps together, the crazy part about everybody that we brought in, all the veterans that are part of the vet corps, regardless of what era that they lived in, there's this intersectionality between all of our service. We either stayed at this, we were either the same post, the same part of the country, or under the same commands, or hell, one of the people in the vet corps, we were in the same place at the same time.
Wow.
We just didn't know each other at the time.
Right. Right.
Because that's how tiny the military is, right? Frankly.
Yeah.
So
I remember
that's why this program's so important.
I ran into a guy in Japan who was from Philly with the same last name as me. I didn't know him. Did not know him. I was like, wow. Yeah.
Turns out you're a twin.
Right, exactly. That's what I felt. Like, really? Ferguson? Like, oh, okay. Yeah.
That is phenomenal. All right.
I know.
Final statements.
Come back.
That's right. Come back. Where can we find you, Jason? Tell us where we can find you.
I don't know. Yeah.
Behind the dumpster. I like taking a nap back there.
Well, to a Zoom channel coming soon. And I guess, yeah.
Do you tweet? Do you Insta? Do you Facebook?
Oh, that good stuff. Oh, good God. Jeez.
Embrace the inner millennial in you.
Fine. Instagram, jferg1911. Facebook, you already know. Twitter, I already don't post on there, but you can go check it out. I don't know what it is. You'll find me.
Twitter is the bad neighborhood of social
media. Like, no, don't go down the alley. No.
Don't go to Twitter unless you're ready to get shot.
Oh God! I can see the CEO calling us now. Really? Like,
woo! You went there, huh? Yes. Yes, we did.
Oh man.
Well, Jason, thank you for joining me this morning on this awesome podcast.
Thank you, sir.
Talking, shooting the breeze. You can find Jason and all of our online regional instructors at Tai Chi with Veterans, both YouTube, which is
how about that?
It's online now. This will be uploaded for YouTube viewership later, and at Facebook, we're gonna open up our Twitter some point here shortly. I figure between
Sam, you can do that.
There you go, Sam. Get to work. You're getting work on the podcast. That's how it's working. And of course, you can find me at Tai Chi with Marcus pretty much everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Insta. I'm sure TikTok probably. I'm not on TikTok, but I wouldn't be surprised if I was. If I was, that's what I would be.
Oh man.
I hope you all are doing well and taking care of yourselves during this. So
alrighty.
Yeah. All right, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Until next time.
You got it.
Sir. Namaste.
Cut.